Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Blue Ribbon Lounge podcast.
Welcome back to the lounge. We're here. You're there. We're doing this.
So we're sending you signals from far away, coast to coast.
Yes. Like, Art Bell.
George Norrie.
Both of
them.
Art Bell.
They were good guys. They were onto something.
Yeah. Technically coast to coast if someone in California was listening.
Yeah. Yeah, we had at least one coast covered. We're looking for you, libs in Florida, or not Florida, California.
Well, and Dems and libs.
Dems and libs and communists.
Yes, and
anarchists.
Capitalists. Maybe not.
Tech oligarchs.
Yeah.
They're all there.
Yeah. On the west side. Because the weather, it's real nice weather.
Yeah, was West Side? Was that the coast?
West Side?
Yeah. Or is that just like the side of town?
It depends on where you live.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We're Midwest.
Yeah, we are.
What you can do with your fingers?
Midwest? Yeah.
Boy, we are here recording.
Yeah. It's been a minute again.
What do you even think about, Dave?
All sorts of stuff.
Have we recorded since Vegas? Since I went to Las Vegas?
No, we haven't.
And we're time traveling today, folks. You beautiful people out there. We're time traveling. We're on the way to Torquefest, but by the time you get it, we're done.
Yes. Which is rough because I was going to ask you Torquefest questions.
Well, we'll talk about Torquefest.
Oh, okay.
Who cares? None of these people are going to go. Or they're already going to go.
Or, yeah. And they're going to be like, hey, when are you going to put out a new podcast? And you're like, Monday.
Tomorrow or 2 days.
Yeah.
Yeah. I went to Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Me and the wife got happily vow renewed.
Yeah,
not remarried because we never got divorced.
Remarried. Well,
vow renewals. Yeah. By Elvis, the king of rock and roll.
So do you is that like when you refinance a mortgage? Do you get a better interest rate now?
You pay a bunch of money and it doesn't really do anything for you in the long run.
Does that mean you guys are like newlyweds?
Kind of.
Yeah.
And then we spent our honeymoon with a bunch of other people in our hotel room. So
yeah.
But we this is the second time we've had a friend of ours from well, he's from the Quad Cities, but he works out in California. And his name is Tonio, and we love him to death. And he walked my wife down the aisle.
Yeah.
So that's always funny. Next year, I'm getting walked down the aisle.
You're going to do it again?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Well, maybe not next year, but the next time we do it.
Yeah.
I'm going to get walked down the aisle. Rebecca's going to be, and I'm going to have the bouquet of flowers.
Oh, okay.
And we're going to do a little gender swap.
Code switching.
Yeah. And the car show was really nice. It was nice weather out there. I drank so much water, I was peeing every 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And at one point, I was like, I need to get my prostate checked because I was worried. I was peeing so much.
I get that. Sometimes when we play D&D, I'll work that morning and I'll have like a cup of coffee at work, and then I come get ready for D&D and I'll brew a pot of coffee and then drink water and coffee, and then I'm just peeing all the time.
Your body really knows when you're trying to do something, so it knows when to intervene.
Right.
And tell us about the Dungeons and Dragons campaign. Are you having a good time?
I'm having a good time. Yeah, because I came up with the concept a while ago, and I was kind of looking for a group to play with.
Yeah.
In my first group, it's hard to schedule.
Yeah.
So it was nice to,
Such is a Dungeons and Dragons group.
Yeah. So it's nice to get one that can play more regularly.
Yeah. Well, and also we do once a month, which is like a fairly easy, although and even you have a small group, 4 players and you.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's still hard to get all the schedules to connect.
Yeah, but so far, not bad. We've had our 3 sessions so far.
Yeah, I think next session that we planned, Joe has prom.
On the 16th?
I think so.
Oh.
Help me remember to double check that.
Okay.
But it also might be late. We might be able to, maybe if we can hit in, a couple hours early or something.
Yeah.
But I don't know what Ben's schedule is like. Brother Ben.
Yeah.
Shout out.
I think most people have Saturday off.
Yeah.
So even if...
Well, there's just other stuff too.
Yeah.
How old are their kids? Number one fan and brother Ben?
Almost full grown. Two of them
Okay.
are not. They have some. They have kids living at home, but
They also have kids not living at home.
yeah, they have a lot of
Fair
kids.
enough. We don't want to dox nobody.
No.
Yeah, it's been. I feel like I had an idea for my character, a monk dwarven monk, and it's slowly been changing.
Yeah.
And I appreciate your daughter's role playing
Yeah.
commitment.
Well, she's always wanted to role play more, and with the other group, she would kind of lead the role playing because they're more like
Min-maxers?
the min-maxers, or like they like rolling the dice more. And so when it's like, oh, the king wants to talk to you, then they're like, oh, I'm just gonna tell him that what happened, instead of being like, oh, king, hey, I almost lost an eye, it was a crazy that kind of stuff.
And just to roll for a persuasion.
Yeah.
Which works for some people.
Yeah, I mean, they're still a good group.
Yeah.
I'm not knocking.
Oh, yeah, no. And I like when we were kind of discussing things and you were like, well, the guards are here, and like kind of rushing us so that we couldn't like make what is that, meta? When you talk out of group,
right,
out of character. We couldn't meta too much, and you were like, well, you're arrested.
Well, it was because you were in a city and stuff happens.
I agree
and
with
so
it.
like they're gonna bring the cart around eventually, and if you guys are standing around talking about doing something, the cart's gonna show up.
Jail
You
cart.
know, yeah. But that was also, you start a fight in the middle of a big city. It's gonna be noisy. People are gonna notice. Yeah.
And Joe was like, I was just trying to be drunk. And I was like, oh, I thought we were fighting.
Yeah.
But that's funny. And then what's another thing? Talked about Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Vintage Torque Fest.
Vintage Torque Fest.
If anybody out there is heading up to Vintage Torque Fest or goes to Dubuque at all, you got to make sure to, and I don't know if I told you this or not, Davey, but you got to check out Paul's Tavern.
Paul's Tavern.
Yeah, it's just as big as the basement.
Okay.
And they have 3 menu items. You can get a hamburger, a cheeseburger, or a ham and cheese sandwich.
Right.
You got this old ass like broiler thing that they cook everything in.
Yeah.
And the food is so good and it's pretty cheap. And so like probably on like Saturday, everybody will want to go out drinking, and I'll fucking run out and make a pit stop and grab fucking 10 of these burgers or something, and bring them back to where everybody's drinking.
Yeah, soak up that alcohol.
Yeah. But they're fucking good ass burgers, man.
Paul's Tavern?
Yes, Paul's Tavern.
Okay. Dubuque.
Yeah, Fabulous Dubuque, Torquefest, Iowa.
Yeah, so is it always the first weekend of May?
Yes.
Yeah. How'd you get involved with that? Did you? Well, I guess the first question that I had, you have like a retro aesthetic. You're like, what? I don't know, antique or like vintage. Was that okay? Which came first, the chicken or the egg? Did you have that before you met your wife, or did you guys do that after?
Well, we were both pretty vintage. Rebecca was selling vintage clothes when I met her.
Okay.
And listening to metal music. And I was listening to like rockabilly, more psychobilly, which is essentially just like the Misfits meet Johnny Cash.
Yeah.
Kind of like punk rockabilly. And
the horror pops and stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure. And I had like slick back pompadour hair and wore button-up shirts and stuff, and I was kind of like half committed to it. I more liked the music, and the aesthetic. I liked looking at old stuff. But Rebecca is a real fashionista. So she helped me like dress a little bit better, and she's helped me kind of commit more to a lifestyle, as opposed to
like a cosplay kind of
essentially
situation.
I essentially cosplay like every day. Like even this, the basement is
Well, if you do it every day, it's more of a lifestyle than a cosplay.
Well, you're born naked and everything else is drag.
True.
Queen RuPaul herself.
Yeah.
But and I mean, all it is like we talk with some other people who go to vintage car shows and also Ren fairs, and Ren fairs are just car shows but older.
Right.
Like instead of being, well, now 70 years ago in the 50s, they're going back, to the medieval times,
right?
And so it's all kind of the same. And
because like the car show or like the Vintage Stork Fest, you're looking at cars from the 50s and 60s, and people are kind of have that dress aesthetic, and they're buying stuff from that era more or less. And so then you go back to the medieval times. Instead of cars, there's horses and jousting and turkey legs on a stick, and people are dressed that aesthetic, and you're buying stuff from that era, kind of.
It's pretty, and I think I like immersion. So like Viva, it's kind of funny because you go to this new fancy hotel or casino, and there's a bunch of slot machines and stuff around, and you'll see like like in Harry Potter, muggles. We call them muggles when we're there, and they're the people that are like just for some reason booked that hotel at that time, and they're not there with the event, but now all of a sudden there's old dressed people around,
all doo-wopping around,
and then it's funny to go in there and see just like so many people, because me and the wife talk a lot about like all of those people are like the rockabilly people from where they're from. Like when you go out to and I don't do it so much anymore. I don't put my hair up. I lean a lot more 70s than 50s nowadays. But when you go out to Walmart, you would maybe notice a guy that dresses like me,
right?
Because it's not just like sweatpants and a t-shirt.
And usually maybe it's stereotyping, but I always think like a mechanic when I see a guy with like blue jeans that are rolled up and he's got like the steel toe boots or something on, in the slick back hair, and they always have like a tight t-shirt or something.
I mean, most of the people that are in this culture are like their dads were mechanics. And I used to work with an old timer a couple of jobs ago, and he would always tell me he was a big grease monkey, though he didn't live the aesthetic. But he would always tell me like he would get a $300 paycheck and go buy a whole car, and like work on it and tune it up and stuff. And it would be a used car; it wouldn't be brand new,
right?
But you could get a whole used car that you could probably drive home, and then maybe you got to fuck with it a little bit to make it, souped up or whatever. But most of the people that are in this lifestyle now often have parents that were like that.
Shade tree mechanics and stuff.
Or real mechanics, because like a lot of times people there's so many people that go there to Torque Fest or Viva or whatever car show, and they have like car clubs who often have their own personal shops that they work on their cars, or mechanics who are building $20,000 vintage hot rods and stuff, and they're not everywhere, but everywhere there are some, if that makes any sense.
That makes sense. There's a couple in this city, in this town, and I couldn't tell you what they are offhand, but there's car shows all the time, and they're from the area, and like Dwyer Michaels put out the classic car calendar, so there's tons of classic cars hanging around, and it kind of does come with that kind of aesthetic, because usually if you're into classic cars, you're into working on them, and usually it was handed down from your dad or your parents, and they were probably had that lifestyle, and they probably dressed like greasers because growing up they probably were the greasers, or
whatever generation you might be from. And Torque Fest is a lot different because it's like truly a lifestyle event. It's like the John Wells, who we had on the podcast.
Mallrats.
Episode. One of those episodes. It was the last interview of the last episode, I think.
Or
something like that. And he's very much like, rain or shine, commit to the show, drive your fucking car here, you know, live like you respect, you know, what you're doing, as opposed to you got old guys that have, you know, Ford F-350s hauling a trailer with a $30,000 car in it. Most of the cars that come in, you know, aren't perfect.
Yeah.
Or they're like weird, like crazy paint jobs. Like you ever, when I think of Hot Wheels, I think of like that one car that has like kind of the flames on the front.
Yeah.
Like their logo. And you got guys that like fucking take that flame job and just like do it the entire car.
Yeah.
Almost to a point where it's a little gaudy to me. But, you know.
Some of them, and then some of them are just like restores or even just old cars. Like,
yeah, like a lot of people take old cars and just like take all the body off of them and slam them to where their ass is fucking 10 inches off the ground. They can't go over a speed bump without getting stuck.
Yeah.
And like it's essentially just a frame around them. I've seen guys that you'd call that something like a rat rod.
Yeah.
And their rat rods are so short that they just welded the doors up and they just climb right out of the sunroof. Like, and like they got like the shifter knob is so big it's like sticking out of the sunroof and shit. Like, there's all sorts of little niche stuff like that. And every car is pretty much completely different.
Yeah. And I think it was cool because we went. Pretty sure that was last year
when the old lady came up.
Yeah, and just walking around looking at them, and it's cool. They have numbers on them, so then you can vote for like the car you like. I just couldn't find the voting area. I think
at TorqueFest they don't vote,
but there's like numbers on them, and I thought you could. Or
I don't think so.
Or is that just for spots? Maybe.
I think it's just like. People who have cars really prize placards.
Yeah.
It might be like if you're getting number one, then it's like really, really cool.
Yeah.
You know? And they really prize car show stickers.
Okay.
I don't think I have one down here, but every car show has a designated generally every car show has a designated sticker for cars that come, and like, boy, if guys don't get it or they come in late and we ran out of them, or like some guys are always trying to squirrel you out of two of them because they got a car at home. It's like, we didn't fucking bring that car.
Yeah.
But they get kind of fucking pissy if you ain't got no more.
Yeah.
Or like they'll walk in and be like, hey, can I get a sticker for my car? And it's like, well, did you bring your car? No, I left it at home. And I was like, well, then no. And they're like, come on. You know, it's like,
yeah.
And I run the gate where all the cars come in. So I got to be the guy that's like, fucking 10 cars are trying to squirrel in at one time and it's only big enough for one.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fucking everybody stop. Fucking cool it. Get out of your goddamn cars. And fucking people get all pissed off, but I don't give a shit.
Yeah. Well, they're a different breed, but it's got that punk aspect to it where you're like not on edge, but there is that tension where they're everybody's a badass, so nobody wants to not be a badass. Yeah. So then there's that like kind of
something to prove.
Yeah.
Well, and just recently, I've been doing it for several years now, but just recently, and you're listening, I'm sure you have a lean one way or the other. I'm kind of assuming it's in the correct direction, but if not, these are my views, so I don't care.
Okay.
But with all this MAGA stuff now,
yeah,
it's so funny to see all these guys that think they're fucking cool and rebels. Like they'll have the rebel flag, the Confederate rebel flag on there, and be like, oh yeah, I fucking no rule followers. But then right next to that, they got a Blue Lives Matter flag. They're fucking bootlicking fucking for Trump and shit like that. And it's just like, okay, what are you cosplaying? Like, what are you pretending to be?
Yeah.
Because it's one of the two of them, and I have a feeling it's the rebel.
Yeah, but then, you know, I don't know, that whole Trump thing, I think recently it's kind of waned.
Yeah, dude, the dude is an idiot. He's fucking dropping bombs on children. Like,
Yeah, and nobody really likes that. And then the gas prices shoot up. I'm like,
Yeah.
you can't be like, oh, thanks, Obama. Like,
Yeah.
no, this is you, buddy.
but it's also like every year, every presidential term, it's like I see a new sticker at the pump that says I did that, and it's like whatever president it is, and it's pointing at the pump, and it's like, that's kind of funny,
Right. But so, did you get involved with it by starting vending there first? Or did you know John or people?
I met John at some cool local show, probably something like the Coffin Cats or the Magnetos or the After Darks, which Dave has played with, or the Standards, Hollywood Dave has played with. And I met him through some cool shows, and he was like, oh, I'm doing this event. And I was like, oh, tight. You should book these fucking bands. That's what it is in my head. And I talked to him, and he's like, I don't remember it that way.
Yeah.
But also, I was drinking a lot back then. But like one of the first dates me and Rebecca went on was to the third Torque Fest in Makokata.
Okay.
And like, I think the Coffin Cats played. I think the After Darks played. I think the Standards played. The Reckless Ones from California, who are a great band. I don't think they're a band anymore. He just had like the greatest lineup. And we were watching the music, and I think we ended up missing. They used to have bus races.
Oh, okay.
So it was like a dirt track race in a circle, but it was buses.
Yeah.
And then Rebecca met this girl, Raimi, who was selling vintage clothes, or I think it was like vintage reproduction clothes. And then Raimi was telling Rebecca kind of how to start a shop. Raimi took Rebecca to Viva for the first time after I've been telling Rebecca about it. You know,
Yeah.
I've always wanted to go, but I never made it a priority.
Okay.
Rebecca knows how to make things priorities.
Right.
She has to go. And then so she went and did that and came back, and the next Torque Fest we vended.
Yeah.
Rebecca vended. I was still, I think, before the shop started. I think she vended as like Unforgiven Vintage or something. But then, yeah, I started vending with Rebecca, and then I was do balloon animals.
Okay.
John had a couple of other shows. Retro Rewind was in winter, and so it was an inside event, very small. I was doing balloon animals there. I was selling some of my old CDs and PBR stuff, and then that shut down. He was also doing one in Woodstock, Illinois, which we just never really went to it once or twice. But we kept going to Torque Fest, and eventually John was like, hey, can you help me run the gate?
Yeah.
Because he needed somebody who he could trust with money.
Right.
And I had known him for long enough to where I guess he trusts me with money.
Right. And you were hanging around anyway.
Yeah. I mean, it got to a point where Rebecca was there and her business partner Red was there, and it was a lot of people. And then our friend Jenna had done photography there, and we kind of met her, and now she's part of the family. And then also now her friend Melina goes there, and she's got a shop in Aledo, and it just ended up being too many people behind the table.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, I can get the fuck out of here. And yeah, so now I work it every year, and it's a lot of fun. And it's nice to like, I see a guy I know in a car, I'm like, hey, have a good one, buddy, and I don't gotta fucking talk and bullshit a whole bunch. But
Yeah, because you're like, I'm working.
yeah.
So, do you get discount then since you volunteer, or is it
For what?
like for your spot, like your trailers or anything like that?
Not for camping. And Rebecca usually does some stuff for John to where John doesn't pay her, but he like comps the spot for vending.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's a lot of work, and it's usually throughout the year. So,
Right.
But the amount of money that she makes at Torque Fest, she would pay that, but instead John needs some bullshit done, so she does it, and she doesn't mind doing the bullshit that he asks. So
Yeah.
And yeah, the camping is all through the grounds, so we don't get a discount on that. But
Yeah, it seemed like the trailers are in one spot and then the tents are in a different spot.
yeah, there's vintage camping, which is where we are, and it has to be a certain age
Yeah.
to be there.
Yeah, because you're kind of up front and center.
Yeah,
so,
it's almost part of the show.
yeah.
And then the rest of it is just like regular camping. And I don't know what the price difference is, because I think all of the vintage camping now has electrical, and there's only some spots in the other camping that has electrical, and the rest is just like, a lot of people are fucking camping on hills. It's a steep ass hill.
Yeah, that's the one that, like, the track is down the hill, right? Because I don't think we went down there where they do like the dirt bike races and all that.
So yeah, there's a track, there's a circle track that they do like the car races and motorcycle
with the
races.
stadium and everything.
Yeah, and then there's like there's some sort of like muddy hill that they do mini bikes on.
Yeah,
where you have to like drive up a hill with a mini bike.
right.
And I don't go down that way too often. Occasionally, me and like somebody else have gotten drunk enough to wander over there, but and we've had some crazy adventures.
Yeah,
But at the bottom, I don't know what they do the rest of the year. Some sort of, car demos or just regular dirt track racing.
yeah.
I don't go to a lot of stuff like that. But they always have like a huge pile of wood
Yeah.
from like, I don't know, signage or like replacing fence posts or something. And we usually end up lighting it on Saturday, and
Yeah.
it's a fucking huge fire.
So it was like Burning Man.
Yeah. Yeah, kind of.
Yeah. That seems like just a lot of moving parts to keep track of.
Oh, yeah. And John pretty much does it all.
Yeah. Wiley runs the auction.
Yeah. Well, and you know what? Like a lot of the stuff he's delegated pretty much all the music to Pat Jones, who's in a local band, Three on the Tree.
Okay.
And he actually was in Las Vegas for Viva. He played at one of the events. He played music at one of the events. So
Yeah.
that was pretty cool. And then like a lot of times people will come up to him and be like, "Hey, I think Torquefest should have this." And he'll be like, "All right, do it."
Yeah.
And so like, I guess really the swap meet is done by a different guy, and he does the vendors. And he books all the bands, but Pat gets them like set up and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know who does the races, if anyone else. But I see a lot of different people down there.
Yeah. Well, I wonder, because it is at like the fairgrounds or
Yeah.
something. So I wonder if maybe they have people that you can use.
They might, but most of the fairground does there is like make and sell food and drinks.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it, from what I see.
Okay. I didn't know if they like supplied the announcers or like got
Yeah, everybody taking tickets is a volunteer. Anybody directing cars is a volunteer. Most people are volunteers. Like,
yeah.
and like the main stuff, like taking money at the merch booth or taking money at the doors. You'll usually have like somebody who's in his family,
Yeah.
like his wife or his sister-in-law or some of his kids. Will usually be, or me down at the hot rod gate will be doing one of those, and then everybody else is a volunteer, and they work like a 2-hour shift, and then they go, they get in for free.
Okay. Yeah, because it's all for charity, right?
Yeah, John's youngest daughter was born with congenital heart defects, and she's had like 3 open heart surgeries, and she's like 20 now.
Yeah.
Which is crazy to think about because she was a little kid when I started going.
Yeah. Well, that's Helping Hannah's Heart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so all of the proceeds, so after he pays the bands and after he pays the fairgrounds, he gives all the money to like one family.
Yeah.
That family is usually there and at the art auction. And then it's pretty much a wash for him.
Yeah. So it's more of a labor of love.
Yeah. Although now he's been getting out of it. You know, you can only do one thing for so long.
Right.
And
is he thinking about shutting it down?
Because he just doesn't have a passion for it anymore.
Okay.
He hasn't so much talked about that as much as he just has talked so much more about doing the toys and the comics and a record thing.
Okay.
He's going to be doing a record or like a vintage music event at Davenport Mall.
All right.
Essentially like the QuadCon, but instead of nerd toys, it's going to be
records and stuff.
Music nerd stuff.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. Because, I went on their Facebook page to try to see what the lineup is. Because
Dave, you didn't even look very hard at all.
No, there was a flyer at work, and I was like, oh, cool. And I flipped it over, and it didn't have the bands on it. It just had, like, the cars, like when the cars were doing whatever.
Yeah.
And then, I looked at the Facebook page, and I didn't see it on there, but I did see that he was selling his Avengers #1.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I was like, I forgot that he was into the comics and stuff. But when we did the Mallrats episode, there was all like toys and comics and all that nerd stuff, like as you called it.
Let's fucking just run through this list of bands. So John likes a lot of good music. And so it's usually like a really good mix of like bands he knows and bands he booked. This band Mothership.
Yeah,
highly recommend.
Okay,
check out their album live from Freak Valley, because their studio recording, for some reason it didn't hit me right. Uh-huh. But this year's like 20 Watt Tombstone. They're like really bluesy.
They're like a 2-piece band, right?
I believe so. And then Anthony Gomez, he's kind of popular and he's like kind of bluesy.
Yeah.
A lot of guitar people, guys that like guitar, talk like he's a really good guitar player.
Okay. Like a Clapton type, or like
maybe something like that. I don't know.
Blues. I don't know too many blues people.
Yeah, me either. And I haven't listened to, I've heard his stuff and I didn't hate it. It just never really made the lineup. You know what I mean? And he's usually good about having bands that he thinks a lot of people would enjoy. And those, we were texting about it, like those types of headliners that more people know about and stuff.
Yeah.
They'll usually play midday just so more people can see them. And so more people coming can see maybe who they want to see. And also that person can play to a bigger crowd.
Yeah.
But then he has the bands he really wants to see play at the end of the night on Saturday, because that's when he's done working and he can go watch them.
Yeah.
Which I think is super funny.
That's when Zed played.
Yeah. Left Lane Cruiser, I really like. They're really bluesy, just a guitar and drums again.
Yeah.
Kyle Eldridge, I've never heard of. And every year I always get like really amped and I want to make like a playlist on YouTube for all the bands.
Yeah.
And I've only ever done that once. I feel like I wish I did it more. Unto the Earth sounds like an interesting band. McKinley James, never heard of them.
It seems like there's a lot this year.
Yeah. Well, they're usually pretty good. Pretty good amount. Bear Ham Bones sounds like a funny.
Yeah.
Pretend Friend. I feel like I have stumbled across them on the internet. Union Avenue, Dig Deep, Millbillies, the Surf Zombies.
Surf Zombies I've heard of.
Yeah.
I think
they're surf music.
Yeah, they're very standards-ish.
Yeah.
Because one of the first episodes we did, we reviewed the Surf Zombie beer.
Oh, okay. I remember that.
Yeah.
And
they're like Des Moines, right? Des Moines.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
Or Iowa City.
Okay.
Something like that.
Yeah, they're an Iowa band. Yeah.
Just out of town.
Yeah, I always get them mixed up with the Zombies because I'm like, oh, and then I'm like, there's no way that's not the same.
What is their song? The Zombies. Because they're like a really old band, right?
Yeah, but they're like back during like when the Beach Boys were popular. Yeah, like that era.
That's really old now.
Yeah.
And then Pat Jones is working all weekend, so he usually headlines Friday.
Okay.
So that like he can get everything done first, and then while the band before him setting up, he can start getting his gear ready, and then he headlines on Friday, and then works all the rest of the Saturday.
Well, I thought last year we saw him on Saturday because we watched them before. It was like an hour or something before Zed played.
Maybe something happened.
But there was also like that. I don't know if it was a pinup or something, but it was like I don't remember. It was just ladies on the stage before they played.
I don't remember that one.
Yeah. Well, you were working.
Oh.
Yeah.
And then this band Carbellion.
Carbellion.
Carbellion. Rebellion, but with cars.
Yeah.
Carbellion. I never heard of a lot of those bands, but John has a really good ear for music.
Yeah. And I'm guessing they're all similar.
They're not going to be hip hop.
Well, no. I know that.
Somewhere between, heavy blues and like vintage rockabilly and metal.
Yeah.
Those are the kind of the peaks of the Torquefest Illuminati.
Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah, because you're not going to have a hip-hop act. But, I mean, you could go like a folk singer. Folky kind of...
they have had a lot of bluegrass.
Yeah, because they're like... Folk singers can be bluesy or bluegrass or... Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I've gone there not knowing who people are, and then got to see. I don't get to see the bands too much anymore because I work all weekend.
Yeah,
which is kind of the way I like it. But like the Gross Brothers, it's two brothers, and they had a bass player, and they were very punk rock, very like early Blink-182 type stuff.
Yeah,
like right before they really got really poppy.
Okay.
And I you know me, Dave, I make friends pretty quick.
Yeah.
But I was talking to them and they were like, "Oh, dude, like John never gave us a number. What do you think we should ask for? Is this too much?" And I was like, "Nah, you're probably fine." And it was like a really reasonable number that they were going to ask for.
Yeah. And
John like gave him a tip, on top of that.
Oh, okay.
So it's like he treats people really well, especially artists and stuff.
Right. He seems like a really nice guy.
Yeah. But also, like I was saying, when everybody's trying to drive into the show at one time, if John's down there, he just fucking blows his top, man. Like,
yeah.
Like if you've gone to Torquefest any amount of times, like you've seen John Wills blow up, and it's nasty. But I think it's also nasty just because for people that know him, sometimes it's so unexpected until you've seen it a couple of times.
Yeah. That's always the worst when you make the happy guy mad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like his name is on it. He's liable for everything.
Yeah.
And so, like, you can't be fucking around.
Right. It's one of those, like, cut the shit and you just do it like you're supposed to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
What else did I have here? Oh, I got a story from Las Vegas, Davey.
Yeah, lay it on me.
Did I tell you this?
No.
So we're in Las Vegas, and the wife... So it's me, my wife, Rebecca.
Yeah.
Her business partner, Red. And the fourth one, Jenna Sue. And Rebecca and Jenna were shopping, and Nicole wanted to go downstairs to the casino floor, so I went with her. And we were hanging out, and I took my phone out of the case because some of the new slot machines have chargers on them.
Oh, okay.
But it wouldn't go through my case, and we're bullshitting for a while, and the girls eventually come back down, and there's actually a really good seafood place in the Orleans where Viva is held. Super reasonably priced too. But we go there, and I'm like less than 2 minutes of a walk away. I realize I forgot my phone.
Yeah.
And I run back to get it.
Right. It's gone.
Gone. No phone, case is there.
Okay.
And I walk up and I'm like, fuck. And all of a sudden some lady that works there is cleaning the machine, and I'm like, I lost my phone. What do I do? And she's like, I didn't take it. Yeah. And I was like, you don't know what I'm talking about.
Right.
And so I go to this other lady, and she's like, go to the closest bar, and if somebody that works here grabbed it, they'll take it to the closest bar. If not, go to the landline and dial 0 for security. And it wasn't at the bar. I couldn't even get through the phone to security, and it was like super buzzy and shit. And I was like, this is old technology. And
what is this? It's attached to the wall.
Yeah. And I go back to the seafood place, and I'm like, I fucking lost my phone. And they were like, oh no. And I was like, Rebecca, give me your phone right now. And we have Life 360 on it.
Yeah.
Just for this kind of occasion.
Okay.
So that like when somebody goes back to the room, they can find us again.
Right.
And my phone was across the street.
Really?
In an adult entertainment store.
Where'd you go, Matt?
I was with my wife at the seafood place.
Yeah.
But the person that picked up my phone took it across the street to the adult bookstore or whatever.
Okay.
And my wife's like, talk to security before you go, because you shouldn't go alone. And I was like, okay. I go talk to him, and they're like, honestly, dude, if he was in the hotel, we could help you out. But since he's not, we got no jurisdiction there.
Right.
And I was like, all right. And by the time I'm done talking to security, my phone has made its way halfway down the street.
Oh, yeah.
And while I'm doing this, I have my wife's phone tracking my phone.
Yeah.
The wife and Red and Jenna are looking at me walking on their phone.
Yeah.
Because, like,
watching the two dots get closer together.
My wife has me and them, but I only have my wife.
Yeah.
And they don't have me. They only have my wife. And they were like, yeah, you were walking like 3 miles an hour. And I was like, great intent.
Yeah.
And I'm like kind of psyching myself up. I'm like, okay, like if I get there and he acts stupid, I'll just be like, dude, I'll give you $20. Give me my phone back. I'll learn a lesson. You'll get $20. We'll be good.
Yeah.
I get to this intersection. My phone was at this intersection for a while as I'm walking up on it. And then by the time I get there, it crosses the street. And I'm like, fuck. Like, we were both walking the same speed. You know what I mean? Like, I'll never catch up to this person.
Right.
And I'm also thinking, like, what if it's like 8 guys?
You
know, what if it's like a crazy lady on drugs? Right. I have no idea.
You're running all the scenarios through your head.
Yeah. And I get to this intersection, and my phone is in the parking lot of like a little cul-de-sac area right next to this building across the street. And I kind of psych myself up enough, and I go across the street, and I'm like, the person is like sitting down in the shade trying to open it or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. Nobody's there. Nobody's in this parking lot.
Yeah.
And I go inside the building, another adult novelty store.
Yeah. Jeez.
And so I walk in, and they're like, ID, please. Because I had to make sure I was 18. And I'm like, all right, here you go. And my phone was outside on like the back corner of the building.
Yeah.
So I was like, maybe it just, it's like a amount of error.
Yeah.
And so I walk, and I go, there's a couple of people in the store, and I go down and I look down that aisle. One person.
Yeah.
Where my phone is, like right outside.
Right.
A tall, older black gentleman.
Yeah.
And he's walking at me with a dildo in his hand.
Okay.
And I'm like, hey, were you just at the Orleans? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, did you pick up my phone? And he was like, yeah, I was going to take it back, but I had to stop here and get something for my wife. And I was like, oh, no big deal. I'll just take my phone back.
Yeah.
And he handed it right over.
Yeah.
Dude, crazy. And he was probably shocked that I like found him.
Yeah.
And then I left. And like just how many times do you hear a story where you just fucking put a neat little bow on the end of it?
Yeah. And that's weird because I wonder if maybe he did it by accident. And when he was in the first store, he was like, "Oh crap, that's not my phone." Or you pull out two phones and you're like, "Oh no, I got someone's phone."
I think he was not going to return it. And I also think that there is no wife that he was buying this for. In my opinion.
I always benefit of the doubt. And maybe he thought he's like, "Oh, but I still got to jump down here. But before I got to go back for my car anyway, I'll turn it into the casino and go home."
I have a feeling, Dave, no. But maybe, I got it back. So I
mean, because he could have been like, "No, I don't know what you're talking about."
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it was like, I was giving him the benefit of the doubt in the moment, to be like, I don't have to fight this guy, but also I'm at an event. I'm looking really good, because I'm all dressed up for this event. I got all my rings on. I fucking got my hair slicked back. I probably looked like a dude that
could fight.
And I on the walk, I was like, I was building confidence. Like, I'm gonna get my phone back. I'm gonna get one way or another. I'm gonna get my phone back. And but whew. Really just.
I'm sure on the way back you had that adrenaline dump.
Oh yeah. I was like, "Fuck!" Now I gotta walk all the way back. God. By the time I get back, they had ordered and gotten food, and we're like pretty much done. And so I just like ate everybody's leftovers.
Little of that, little of this.
Yeah. And we were trying to do more like meal splits. You ever split a meal with your old lady?
No. We were going to go to that Yum Crab and just get a big bag of boil, but when she was looking at the pictures last Saturday, she was like, "This is not." It just wasn't hitting.
It was pretty good. We went there for like the boys' graduation one year, or
we've been there before. Like,
oh yeah,
it's good. It's just wasn't like looking right.
Yeah,
because it is just in a big bag, just of seafood,
mostly just meat. But it was pretty good. But I'm not a big like work for your food guy. Like, I'm not trying to break apart pieces of an outer armor.
Right. I like a good boil, but I also like with the carrots and not the carrots. Corn and potatoes, and some ham and shrimp.
Although you get like it's hard to estimate how much meat like 5 crab legs is.
Yeah.
But then when you get like a half a pound of potatoes, it's like a lot of potatoes.
That is a lot. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, we don't meal share most of the time, but I think no, like when we go out and stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe if it was someplace new or like shareable stuff like sushi or like Indian or where you just get like a platter of food.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're just trying to, and we don't do it very often, but we're trying to be like eating cheaper.
Yeah.
Because a lot of places, they'll give you a lot of food, and it's also a lot of money. And then when you're out of town, it's hard. We didn't have a refrigerator,
Yeah.
So if we took anything to go, it was just going to go bad if we didn't eat it that night.
Yeah, when you're out, I can see that, because a lot of times if we go to like when we went to Des Moines to see Whitney, if we went somewhere to eat and then you take it back, then you're walking around, you got like 4 blocks to walk back to the hotel and you're carrying food with you. So that makes sense to like share a meal there. It's just, I don't know. I guess I have to get past the stigmata of the whole thing, or the stigma.
Stigmata.
Yeah, because for a while, like, I'd always get like iced tea or something because back in the day, now I think it's better because more people do it. They get just water. But back in the day, if you were just, I'll have a water, the waitress kind of like, oh, I bet I'm not getting a tip. You know, there was that vibe, But now I think everybody just gets water, usually.
That's the direction the country's been going.
Yeah, so it's not as bad now. But yeah, sometimes if I take my wife out to eat and then we just get water and then I get that vibe that I'm like, oh, and we're also getting an appetizer. Like, see, we're spending money.
Well, that's the thing too. If you split a plate, then you can get an appetizer or a dessert.
Yeah.
I don't usually get a dessert because I clear my plate.
Yeah, I usually do too. Like we went to Los Amigos Monday and I got the fajitas, and they also bring like a big plate of rice and beans and lettuce and guacamole and all that. And then I was like eating the whole thing, and I was like, oh, I was full, and I don't feel like I overate, but at the same time, like that was a lot of food. Like it's hard to lose weight when you just clear your plate all the time.
Yeah. And I'm a plate clearer.
Yeah. I have a story for you.
Let's hear it, Davey.
So, yeah, I guess it'd be like 3 weekends ago. Me and the kid went to see ICP.
Oh, okay.
Insane Clown Posse at the Capitol Theater.
We had some other friends go.
Yeah. And it was cool because we got doused with Faygo and everything. But at the end, they played the last song on The Great Malenko as their last song.
Okay.
Kind of like an encore. And then they sang like the beginning, and then they were like, fuck it, you guys come up and sing it. And they kind of like faded away. And we got to go up on stage. And,
no way.
Yeah, grab the Faygo, and we're like throwing it around. My glasses fell off.
Oh, no.
And I'm like, I threw my Faygo, and then I looked down, and I'm looking for it. And right when I see him, this person steps on him.
Oh, shit.
And I had to be like, tap on their foot. But luckily, I have the Flex glasses because I've had glasses just break before.
So they didn't step on like the lenses, just like
no. Well, it was folded up.
Oh, okay.
But they flex.
Oh, wow.
So
those are super flexible.
Yeah. So I lucked out on that. But then, I guess after that concert, Violent J went straight to the hospital because he had pneumonia. He couldn't catch his breath.
Oh shit!
And he thought it was a heart thing because he's got like a bad ticker, but it turns out it was just pneumonia. Yeah. Well, I mean, when you're older,
played a whole show with pneumonia. That's crazy.
Because there was,
I can't hardly make it through a podcast.
When he was singing, like in between songs, he would go over and stand by like where they have the big trough of like the 2 liters of Faygo, and he was just like breathing heavy. And they ended up bringing out a mic stand for him to kind of lean on to like sing instead of just standing up there. And so the next weekend we were supposed to play D&D. I ended up getting sick and like had a fever and a backache. And
you got
stuff.
Violent J's.
Yeah, I think Violent J got me sick. And it was funny because I was telling my kid that story, and she's like, "Are you fucking kidding me? Like my throat's all fucked up," and it was like all red and stuff. She had to end up getting antibiotics. So I think Violent J got me and my kid sick.
Worth it, dude.
Yeah, like that's cool. Yeah. And plus, like, funny. That's one of those bands that, like, you want. It's like collecting baseball cards you like want on your belt, but I never got. You never get a chance. And am I gonna actually go to Indiana or Kentucky to a whole gathering for a whole last weekend? Yeah.
I couldn't imagine with that. Although that's like. I went to Las Vegas for essentially a gathering of the Rockabillys,
Yeah.
Like I appreciate when people have things that they really enjoy.
Yeah. And people are people and they're generally nice. So even if it's a big gathering of juggalos, it's still like, I've heard nothing but good things.
I have only recently heard bad things. And it's of a longtime juggalo. And he was saying that, like, it started to become just less desirable people. Like, he kind of described it in a way that, like, people were acting in a way that juggalos shouldn't act.
Right.
Like, maybe being, like, malicious or mean or, like, arrogant and pushing people around or something.
Yeah.
And you find those people everywhere, but kind of like you're saying, they are the minority, but they can make a lot of people have a bad time.
Yeah. Well, it's like anything, how kind of like our political atmosphere right now, where the ones on the far left and the ones on the far right are the ones that get the attention, but all the people in the middle are just normal people.
Yeah. We're just trying to survive.
Yeah. And so, yeah, if, Yeah, you go to one of those things and there's one guy being an asshole, and he, of course, is like, I'm a juggalo, or I'm fucking, I don't know, I'm a rockabilly guy. Like, you don't know, this is greaser stuff, or whatever. And then you're like, man, that's not what we're doing here. Like, take that somewhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah. But also those kind of sometimes group mentality I could see, because there's a skate thing that happens down in Florida. It's called Swamp something, and they get a bunch of skaters.
Swamp Fest?
Maybe it's what it's called. But it's a bunch of skateboarders, and they build a bunch of ramps and stuff, and it's pretty much you're part of it. Like, if you're there, some guy might fly off the half pipe and run into you, and so then that attracts a certain kind of people. So then I could see how things like that can get out of hand.
I feel like I've heard of times, like, well, how many events get put on where nothing happens and everything is fine?
Right.
But then you have shit like, and this wasn't necessarily the people's fault, but like, what was that, Woodstock 99 or something?
Yeah.
Where it was like, shit started catching on fire and a bunch of people got hella sick and hurt. And
yeah, well, that was just bad planning.
But you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I guess what I'm saying is when you get so many people together at one place,
right,
when something goes wrong, it can easily go catastrophic.
Yeah, because it just takes one spark to get a lot of groupthink going in the wrong direction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like one guy to knock something big over to hurt a bunch of people or something.
Right. Yeah.
Check out the Facebook page.
Yeah. Check us out on Facebook.
Blue Ribbon Lounge Podcast. Tell us what your what do we call this? Like your lifestyle?
Or like it's summertime, we're going up to fest season.
Oh,
like, what's a festival that you like to go to?
Me? Oh yeah.
Or just the audience.
Listener.
Yes, the listening audience.
You were looking at me, I'm like, oh
yeah, because like Riot Fest.
Yeah.
That's a fun one.
Have you heard of King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard?
I've heard of them, yes.
I may have talked about them.
And I think it was one of Chicken Boy's Listen to All the Way songs.
Yeah.
Or albums.
They have a festival. I don't know if you've seen these guys. They do like microtones, and they're like dressed in black and white polka dots, and they have big masks.
Microtones?
And like, what's it called when you have like notes in a row?
Okay.
We're not. If Hollywood Dave was here, he would know.
Yeah, all right.
But they do like really intricate musical work. Okay. I guess is the best way as a non-musician I can describe it. But they're going to be there, and they've been sweeping the internet like crazy because they wear these big, crazy masks and like their whole get-ups. They're like wearing black and white clothes with black and white polka dots on them, and even their like hands are painted
black and white. And,
yeah.
Okay.
It's very cool looking, and the music ain't too bad.
Yeah.
I ain't going on my way nothing, but we'll try to post that up onto the Facebook.
Yeah. There's also something I think in Louisville that's like, it's got a very simple name, something loud, but it's like a shit ton of bands. Because I was on Monday, we went to, the girl had a band at the Mark.
Okay.
And I was sitting there, I'm like, oh, I haven't been to, it made me think of concerts, and I'm like, oh, I wonder if I want to go see Pantera, but I want to see Pantera be at the headliner, because last time I took my kid to see them, they were opening for Metallica, and we had to sit in the nosebleed because I'm broke.
Yeah.
So I'd want to go to a concert where they're the headliners,
because you can get a couple rows down.
Yeah, or you can get in the pit and, actually experience it. Although I might be getting too old for that. But they're playing some festival in Kentucky, and like the lineup was, there's like 5 days of just like crazy ass lineup. But when like a 1 day ticket is $200,
yeah,
you can rationalize it, because if you're going to see, I think it was like on that same day, it was like Megadeth and like some other big names. So
if you can see five, $50 bands.
Yeah, exactly. Then it's kind of worth it. But then when you also think about the drive and the hotel room and all that.
Food, drink.
Yeah. it's hard to pull the trigger on something like that. But sometimes you can find it reasonable, because I think when we did go to Riot Fest, we got the because I think I just saw someone like NoFX or someone was going to be there, and I'm like, okay, well, that's the price of the admission and so I pre-ordered, months in advance before the whole lineup was filled out, and so I got him for like $75. As it gets closer, it gets up to like $150. So sometimes you got to look for those deals.
Yeah, like that's the way Torfest is too. Is if you buy tickets, more than a month in advance, then you get $10 off.
Yeah,
which is a good deal.
Yeah, and it's easy to find those deals. Like if you have to download an app or buy it on the internet, you can get like better deals.
Mm-hmm. I forgot. I think I sent maybe you some pictures of the Punk Rock Museum in Las Vegas.
Oh yeah.
That was really cool.
That's owned by Fat Mike, right?
Yes, there was like a whole NoFX room.
Yeah.
And there was like a gal doing tattoos of band logos and stuff, and also like art inspired by bands.
Oh, okay.
Music lyrics, but with like an imagery from it and stuff like that. It was really cool. And so Viva was in town, and so they had Brian Setzer's jacket from the Stray Cats, and jeans or something like that, and it was really cool. And I like watching like musical documentaries and listen to musicians I like talk about music, because it's like I didn't grow up in a lot of those eras.
Yeah.
And then by the time punk turned into like thrash and like hardcore, I wasn't really into it.
Right.
But like Dropkick Murphys, Pennywise, Black Flag, Anti-Flag, Blink-182, Offspring, it's always like validating to see the bands that you liked in with a lot of those other bands.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it makes sense.
And when I was walking through, I was like, I say fucking Davey knows all these fucking bands.
I probably know a good majority of them, yeah.
And it was cool because it was broken up by area, like Brooklyn, LA, Chicago, Ohio, stuff like that.
Like Fugazi, Cro-Magnon.
Yeah.
Is KRS-One, is that punk or?
I don't know who that is.
Oh, okay. Never mind then.
You know a lot more than
they
me.
Always. Anytime I've read like Henry Rollins stuff or Ian McKay or whatever his name is, they always bring up like seeing KRS-One or going to New York, or they play in DC, because I think they're like a DC band.
Okay,
but I don't know if they're punk. I can't, or because I
what
think
else would they be?
Like a hybrid, because I know the Beastie Boys also talked about them too.
I think they had some shit there. I think
the Beastie Boys started as a punk band. Yeah, and then evolved. Yeah.
I mean, I think if you put out one punk record, you could be considered.
Yeah, I suppose so. Unless you're just a big sellout.
Fucking sellout.
Yeah. Which is a really good song by The Living End.
Yes. That's all I got, Dave.
That's all I got too.
Good to be back.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see what the next
episode, if it's another rerun, or
how tired I am from Torquefest. Although after Torquefest it'll be a posting, so I gotta fucking get this out.
Yeah, shit.
Hey, all you time traveling beauties out there, from Torquefest before and Torquefest after, and all over the country and the world and the universe, be good to yourselves.
Yes, and remember, if someone's hotter than you, that means that you're cooler than them.